For later. How are we? It's Wednesday. Not quite as nice as yesterday, but hopefully we'll still get out. Hopefully you've done your warm up there. I was just doing mine in my kitchen because I don't think I did enough of a warm up on Monday. So I did a little bit more today. I think when you're a little bit tireder in the mornings and your body's just a little bit stiff. I know who's out there today, so we're all of different stiffness, I think, in the morning when we get out of bed. So as long as you know that you are doing enough to warm you up before you come onto your mat, then I am a happy girl. So let's just start off straight away thinking about our posture. Feet nice and flat on the mat, please. Opening the shoulders, dropping the hands down. And just think about your breath just before we start. So we're going to do our sigh as we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in. And allow this air to escape through the mouth. And you just feel the shoulders drop, the arms just lying heavily by the side of the hips. Let's do one more. Breathing in. And exhale. Let the chin come down to the chest. Just let it hang there for a moment. And then draw a circle with your head, bringing the neck long as you lift the head up. And then over to the side, dropping it down in front of you again. I want to do one more on the same side. So just a full rotation. Just keep your breathing going, doesn't matter how many breaths you take. Stop at the center and then circle through the other way. Again, looking up to the ceiling when you get to the top and then bringing it back down. I think mine have got a little bit bigger as I've gone on, just as I feel comfortable with what I'm doing. And then bring your head back to center, up to neutral, and just a couple of little shoulder rolls back and forward. I know you'll have done that already. And then when you're ready, bring your feet wide. So no rush to get into your position. But think about what you're doing. My hips are open, my knees are open, I'm dropping my bottom down. Don't let the knees come over much further out than the feet. I'll get there when I get my head and my mouth at the same position. You know what I mean. I'll start again. Horse stance. Drop yourself down. Take the hands into prayer. And just let your breath come back to nose, mouth. I think I'll just bring myself back into the room and not look outside the window, which I just did. Taking a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth and drop yourself down. Someone's just come in. Good morning, whoever that is. I'll get back to you afterwards and take a breath in again. And exhale. And I just want to do, just to make sure you're doing that little pelvic tilt before we start, just to lengthen the base of the spine. And into our circle of the sun, so breathe in and exhale, and then again. And release down, and breathe in, and drop down, and one more. And drop down. We're going to add on our push the wind, so breathe in. And then exhale to push through the center and bring yourself back. And again, breathe in and push and bring yourself back. We're doing two more. If you need to release your knees just for a moment, then do so. And come back and then circle again and push and come back. We're adding on our last little part as we push. And then we open into open horizon and drop ourselves down. That's the three. Breathe in, circle. Exhale, push. Inhale, open. Exhale, drop down. Let's do two more, one more on each side. So two in total. Push and open and drop. Last one. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. And exhale, bring the hands up above the head, reach up, straighten the legs, tips of fingers together, bring the hands down through the face in prayer. Hands stop at the heart, and then bring your feet to parallel and walk or jump in. Give yourself a moment. I'm going to do a little couple of swings, so I'm just moving my mat slightly. So a couple of swings if you need to, and then come back to standing, please, and we're taking our breath to nose, nose. So we're coming up into our Tadasana mountain pose and bringing our heels off the mat. So some of you, if you want to have your feet a little bit wider so that there's more stability there, then please do. So just pick the place that is good for you this morning. And then listen to your breath. Just let's start off again right from the start, pushing our hands down through the outside of our hips. Pull your hip bones up towards your rib cage. My camera's at a little bit of an angle, so hopefully you've got me straight. I don't quite know what happened from when I set it, and I've just looked. One window looks bigger than the other. Apologies. One day I will crack this completely. Opening the shoulders, lifting the knees up towards the hip bone, spreading your feet out on the mat, and again just listening to your breath before we do anything. So I'm going to close my eyes today and just listen to my breath, which is in through the nose and out through the nose. So I'm just going to allow you a few moments of breathing. And then when you're ready, open your eyes now. Let's just take the weight forward again. We did this at the beginning of last week when we just came back after our break. And then bring yourself back to center until you feel that the feet are completely firm on the ground beneath you. And then lean back slightly so you just come off balance a little. And then come back to center until you feel strong on the mat. Today let's bring our hands up above the head first. Again, apologies, my hands are not quite in screenshot. And then lift your hips, your feet off the mat as we come up. And you'll see that I've just wobbled a little bit. And then drop the hands down. My heels are still up as we bring the hands, butterfly wings, down through the hips. Lovely, lovely. Keeping the heels up. And then drop your feet back down. We're going to do one more. So if you need to have a little swing, do so. If not, stay exactly where you are. Take a breath in. As you exhale, come forward and then lift the heels off the mat. I'm going to bring my arms up now. The palms are facing the mat. Extend out at shoulder height. And holding. Rotate the palms upwards. Come up into your V so the arms are coming up in diagonals, extending to each corner of your room. And holding. Let's have our first smile. It feels good. A nice little balance to start off, does wonders. And then drop the heels. Bring the hands above the head. And then bring the hands down through the face back to the heart and chest to finish as we started. Well done, first part done. Release yourself off. We're coming into our ragdoll, so I'm going to turn around slightly so that I'm facing the way of the mat that I'm going to step forward in a moment. So glance down at your feet. I want you to start with them hip distance apart. Place the hands just on the front of the thighs for the first one, bending your knees, tucking your chin in, slowly pushing your hands down through the front of the legs. And then just let them skim off the knees, and really halfway between the knees and the feet stop. So keeping that chin tucked in, let the hands just feel heavy. So we're starting off really easy, and those of you that want to stay on this level, this is perfect for you to stay in. Let's just do some big circles with the arms. So if you want to go a little bit lower to the mat, then do so. But if you're going to be here and happy, then just stay with me. I feel happy here. And then stop the arms before you bend the knees a little more and roll back up. Back up to standing, drop the shoulders before you go on, little shoulder rolls. Bring the hands up, cross them above the head, hand to elbow on each side, and then physically feel yourself pulling. Sorry, I'm just going to bring myself back. I don't know what's happened to my camera today, but I'm too close for you to get the upper body in. And then I'm going to come back down into ragdoll again. So bend the knees, slowly roll down, nice and gently. I'm going to try and get a little bit further this time. So the hands are still crossed above my head, arms, and let yourself just sink down, breath by breath. So I want to feel where my front of my thighs are, feel where my rib cage is, and try to get the two slightly closer. Now my knees are bent, so it's making it better than when we've got our legs straight. And just let yourself hang. So straight away I start to feel where I should feel it, which is in the base of the spine. But if you feel any tension in the neck and shoulders, then you may just need to adjust your arms slightly. Release the hands down, they probably will touch the mat. And then bring yourself back up to standing. We're being nice to ourselves today. I'm going to do one more slightly different variation. Shoulder rolls back, shoulder rolls forward. And then this time we're coming down with straight legs. So bring your arms above the head again. Cross them above the head. Softly bring yourself forward with the legs straight. Stop when you feel that you're in your flat back. And holding. And then take a breath in and exhale, drop yourself forward. Now my legs are straight, so I'm not going to be able to get my ribs to the front of the thighs one day. That's why I have to keep practicing. One day I'll be able to do that super yoga thing. Keeping the ribs close. Unfortunately, my body just does not want to do that. And then dropping the hands down now, and if you can touch the mat, do so. If not, just let yourself hang. Use your breath one more time, so breathe in. And exhale, feel yourself go a little bit lower on that last exhalation. Lovely, lovely. Bring yourself back up, take one hand under the knee of one side, the other hand to the knee of the other side. Push into the shins, bring yourself up into a flat back. Hollow out your abdominals for me, keeping everything strong. So my feet are flat and wide, hip distance apart. My legs are straight. I'm pushing the heel of the hand into the shins just below the kneecaps. Please don't push into your kneecap. So if you want to have your hands a little bit higher, come all the way above the knees, and tips of fingers are then just resting on the tops of the kneecaps. And just hold your flat back. Now if your neck is a little bit sore today, please stay here. If you're okay, extend one arm out at shoulder height. Extend the other one out at shoulder height. Keep the hollowing still going on with the abdominals. Holding. and then bring yourself up to standing. When you're ready, arms are still out, reach to the ceiling, look up. We're going back down, so bring the arms out to shoulder height. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold forward. The arms are already out this time. Inhale, place the hands into flat back. Exhale, bring yourself up and lengthen. Inhale, hold yourself strong. Exhale, slide the hands down through the fronts of the shins to the feet. And inhale, bring them all the way back up to the knees. Exhale, push the hands down through the front of the shins. We're all going to be going to different places. And then this time, inhale all the way back up to standing. Softly over the knees, bring yourself back up, drop your shoulders and let the head just come from side to side, just to release off the neck. We're going to step forward with one foot coming into our crescent lunge. So when you're ready, step forward. It might take you a couple of moments just to get into the correct position. That is good. Keeping the hips forward, let the weight come off the back heel now, so the toes are on the mat, the heel's up. I think everyone's done this class 1 or 2 times now, so although I'm tweaking it slightly, you're going to have an idea of where we're going next. Bring yourself down, pushing the energy, remember, out that back heel. Keep both hips parallel to the short edge in front of you. Bring your hands into prayer. I'm bringing my elbows out. Now I can sink down just a little bit more. You may be happy where you are. And let's just hold this just for a moment, allowing our breath to come back to being focused on in whichever room you are in. Nice, nice. We're bringing the hands up to the ceiling, extending through the shoulders. And now if you want to separate them to shoulder width apart, you don't need to. You can keep them touching above the head. And now we're adding on our little variations. So anytime you need to come out of it, you do. Bring the hands forward, rotate the wrists so the hands are facing forward, and then drop the hands down to shoulder height. Bring the hands all the way behind you. We're going to add on our pulses in a moment, lifting the arms as high as you can behind you, and then sweep them down and back up to shoulder height. So this is today's variation. Drop the hands down, palms facing behind you now. Lift the hands up. Drop the hands down, bring them forward to shoulder height. We're doing one more. Drop the hands down, lift them up behind you, and this time leave them there. So rather than pulse to the ceiling today, I'm going to cross my hands behind me and then open them out. Cross them, open them out. So if this is not good for neck and shoulders for anyone, then just hold them in a still position. If you're okay, cross, open. We're doing one more. Cross and open, and then drop the hands down. Give yourself a moment to shoulder roll, and then rotate to the long edge of the mat. We are going to the other side. So again, just take as long as you need to. I'm going to just shuffle over a little bit, and now I'm rotating to the other side. I need to make sure that I've got room for my hips to go with me. My heel always starts down to start off, but as I start to get into my crescent lunge, I can lift my heel up and slide the back leg just a little bit further behind so that you're working into your glutes just a little bit more. Dropping yourself down into that front thigh. Don't let that front knee though come in front of the foot. Take the hands into prayer, elbows out. We're doing well. Let's listen to our breath again. Nose, nose. Bringing the hands up to the ceiling. bringing them back and opening them so that they're shoulder width apart is an option if you want to take it. And make sure you're not gripping with the front toe. I've just released mine off. Breathing, rotating the palms forward, bringing them down to shoulder height. That's your starting point. Take a breath in. Exhale, push the hands behind you and up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, bring them back. If you need to take more than one breath, do so. Exhale, bring them back and lift them up. And inhale, bring them back to starting point at shoulder height. Let's do one more and then leave them there, lifting them up. And now we're going to do our little cross and open. So cross them behind your bottom, open them out. Cross them, open out. Cross, open out. Last one, cross, open out. I'm looking out as if I can see you. Drop the hands down. Let's take the hands onto the waist this time and step forward. And then give yourself a moment. Well done, everyone. My mat's a little bit skew-iff again. Let's just do a couple of little hip circles. So I think I've got time to do my second flat back. We did it on Monday, but not everybody was online on Monday that is here today. So let's start with our second one. So wide legs. We're going to bring our feet out onto the mat again. Feet start parallel. And then I'm going to rotate one foot as if I'm going into one of my warriors or triangle to 90. And then rotate my hips around. This time keeping your back heel on the mat. So we want to pull up the energy from the toes and the heel up into our hips. Keeping the chest forward, take the hands onto the waist. Using your back heel and foot as an anchor, tip yourself forward. Keeping the hips parallel, stop when your back feels flat. So that should be when the shoulders are in line with the hips. Don't grip with the front toes, don't bend the back knee. And then when you feel ready, take the hands on to just below the knee, one hand down, the other hand in front of it. Push in, lift up through the chest and hold your flat back. Those of you that want to stay here, that's okay. Those of you that are good to go with me, take a breath in. Exhale, slide the hands down through the front of the shin. So we've been doing this in different positions. We did it with our legs straight at the beginning. Doesn't matter how far you push down, and then slide them back up just to the knee. Take a breath in again. Exhale, fold yourself forward, slide the hands down. Inhale to come back up. We're doing one more, sliding down. Lovely. Bring yourself back up, this time all the way up to standing. So I'm going to take my time to slide over the knee, bring myself back up, and then parallel my feet and twist to the other side. Once again, you just need to get your position in the right place so that the hips can rotate around with the shoulders. So my feet aren't as wide as I would have them even in a triangle, because I want to keep myself nice and steady as I let my legs become straight and strong. So with the hands on the waist again, fold yourself forward. Both hip bones needing to be parallel. So I'm just bringing one around. Take the hands down onto the shin. Push into the shin. One hand on top of the other. Take a breath in. Exhale, slide that hand down through the front of the leg.
Doesn't matter how far forward you get. Inhale to bring it back up to starting position, just below the knee. Exhale, slide the hand down. Nice, nice. It doesn't really feel very nice. Bring yourself back up. And then push the hands down. Just think how much our body's saying thank you for doing this. And then bring your hands all the way back up. Over the knee, up through the front of the thigh. We're back up to standing, we're twisting to the front, we're coming into chair when we are ready. So we're finishing off our standing part in chair, and then we're going down onto the mat when we're ready, having our feet hip distance apart to start. So let's just give ourselves a moment to come into Tadasana again. We want to feel the shoulders open and the hands drop down by the side of the hips. The knees are lifted, the neck is long, and then take your hands into prayer, elbows out, nice. We're bending the knees, little pelvic tilt please, holding. So I'm just going to come this way today. You stay exactly where you are, just so that you can hopefully see where the knees should be, where the bottom should be, where the shoulders should be. And holding. And then those of you that want to push it up with the hands, we're not doing waist twist, we're just doing chair, extending to the ceiling. My thumbs are crossed at the back, tips of fingers touching, and I want to bring my arms up and back, trying to feel the shoulder blades dropping down towards the base of the spine. Keep your head neutral, keep your knees bent, and holding for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Relax the hands down first, place them on the thighs, push yourself back up. We're doing one more. Shoulder rolls if you need to. So let's come into chair one more time. Working into our thighs, working into our bottoms. Taking the hands in prayer, bend the knees. Pelvic tilt, pushing the coccyx down. Keep the chest open. And on this one, I'm going to take the hands forward at shoulder height, palms facing each other, and holding for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Drop the hands onto the thighs, bring yourself back up. We're going down onto our mats. Well done, everyone. So perfect timing for the next part. I'm just going to bring my mat forward now. I think my thing that I use to hold my iPad has just become a little bit loose, and I think it's dropped down a little bit. I will sort it by Friday. So bringing yourself down onto your mat. I'm just going to do a couple of releases today, then I want to come back up to sitting to do our Dandasana that we've been doing since last week. So let's bring our knees in, give them a hug. And I want you just to look behind you, feeling the chin come up towards the ceiling. And then bring your head back to neutral. Roll it to one side. You're still holding onto the knees. Bringing it back up. Rolling it to the other side. Bringing it back up. And then bring your head off the mat and up towards the knees. Give yourself a nice tight hug. And then let yourself come down. I'm still going to do a full extension today before we go on. So one leg down, second leg down, one leg behind the head, second hand behind the head. I think I might have said leg there instead of hand. I have to apologise, everybody. Don't know where my head is today. And extend out behind the head and in front of the legs. And then bring the hands up. Take the hands onto the mat just at your hips. Push the elbows into the mat. I'm going to be nice to you. push into the forearms and bring yourself up to sitting. We are going to work up into roll downs in the next couple of weeks, but I'm starting off the year being semi-nice. So let's take our hands onto our bottoms and pull them out, and then bring the legs out to hip to mat width. So I'm just going to walk forward a little bit today. We're not going to go too far, but before we do anything, I want to bring our thoughts back into our breath. So make sure that your shoulders are stacked above your hips, lengthening into each leg. Place the heels on the mat first, and then push them away from you, pulling your toes in towards you. Then let the heels drop down and just push the feet away from you. So it's just a little ankle work. Bring the toes back towards you. As you bring them back, the heels come off. Heels go back down and the toes get pushed away towards the end of the mat. Don't let yourself sink down. Keep your back nice and flat and long. And then bring, nice and straight, sorry, that's the word. Bring them back for the last time. Bring your heels off the mat. And then when you're ready, relax down. Place the hands just between the knees. So I'm just going to come at an angle just so that you can see a little bit better. So I've kept my legs. You keep your legs as wide as your mat. The hands relaxed. Let the chest come forward. So imagine that we're in the room and we're working in pairs, which we haven't done for so long. And your pair has got their hands just on the base of your spine. And rather than you feel yourself walking forward, imagine that they're pushing your back down, and that is bringing your chest towards the mat. And now just feel yourself release into that first position. And then they come back again, and they're back on a little bit higher than the base of the spine, just maybe at the middle of the ribs. And you're being pushed forward from there as you just walk yourself forward a little bit more. And then some of us will be able to drop our elbows to the mat. If you can't, doesn't matter. And if you don't want to try, that's fine. I can't see you. And just let yourself release into that position for the last level. Slide yourself back up. Now you know I like doing things twice, so we're going to do it twice and take the focus back to where we were at the beginning. So we start off with our feet hip distance mat distance apart. In fact, I think mine have come a little bit wider. Lift the chest up, straighten the back. Your partner has come behind you and they've got their hands just at that fleshy bit, just above the bottom. And they're pushing you forward from there. And just let your breath take you. Now they've moved their arms up just to the rib cage, middle of the rib cage, and you're being pushed forward from there. This is called visualization yoga. And then the last one, if you're far enough forward, take a breath in. And as you exhale, drop the elbows to the mat or your floor and just let yourself relax. And now you should really feel the stretch into the base of the spine, all the way around the bottom, into the tops of the legs. And holding. And then bring yourself back up. Well done, well done. My last one sitting today is cross-legged, so I want to bring yourself into your cross-legged position. Beth, I know you're out there, keep your legs straight if you want to. So the option is for any of you, obviously, if your knees are really not good today, and that weather doesn't always help it, then have your legs straight. We've done it already, we're doing the slide, the side and the reach over. I have got to apologise, I don't know what's going on with my mouth today. So I want to just walk forward to my heels so that I can rest my hands, my forearms, just on the insides of my thighs. And before I start, make sure that you've not slumped down. So bring your chest up and pull your shoulders down away from the ears. Take one hand out, just place it on the outside of the knee, and then just start to slide it along. As long as you're not lifting the opposite cheek off the mat, you can keep going. So just see how far you can go. I'm going to give you a moment to get here. Just reaching, and as you start to reach, you'll straight away start to feel the stretch in the rib cage. And now bring the other hand up straight above its shoulder to start off, and then lean over, so we're in that nice 45-degree angle from the wrist to the shoulder down to the hip. It's got a little bit of a curve in it. And holding, and then bring yourself back to center. I want you to stay in center just for a moment. You may just want to, as I am, rock back and forward on your cheeks. And then reach for the other hand and slide. Don't let the other cheek come off the mat. Reach up. Take a breath in. Exhale, lean over. So you're thinking about the angle that you're making from the arm down to the hip. And the other hand really is just an anchor. So we're just using it to reach over so that we don't fall over. I'm going to do one more on each side. I want you to try and remember where you've just got to, and let's see if we can get a little bit further. So when you're ready, reach out with the first hand. I'm going to slide it a little bit further away. Just walking slowly. I'm going to come back into shot. And then bring the hand, the other arm up. Take a breath in. Use your breath to reach over. Now try not to let the front of the arm and the chest come forward. Keep the chest open. The shoulders are stacked in a diagonal as we reach up and over. Lovely. And then come back to center. We're doing the last time on the other side. Reaching over, reaching up. Take a breath in. The breath needs to be right. Exhale, reach over. And holding. And smiling. Last one of yoga. Doing this as a crossover. And then drop the arm down. We're coming onto our side. So when you're ready, come onto your sides. I've got two on each side. I'd like you to have your head down, please, resting on the elbow. For the first one, it's a two-parter. So I'll talk you through it, and then we will all start together at the same time. So we have all done this before, but we've not done it for a while. We start off with our knees stacked above each other. My hips are stacked above each other, so you can see I've just had to alter slightly. It's really easy to roll forward, so that top shoulder comes forward and the top hip comes forward, but we want the chest open and facing the front of your mat. And then I'm going to use my other hand as my support. Take the top knee up to an open clam, which is then when the feet are not touching. And then we extend that leg up to 45-degree angle. We bring it back into an open clam, and then we close the clam shut. So that is our part, the two-part. We open, we extend, and then we bring back and close. So when you're ready, up we come and extend. Bring the heel back down and then close the knee. So once the knee is open, that stays still. Then extend, bend the knee again, and then close your clam. Up we come, extend, drop the heel, drop the knee. Up we come, extend, bend the knee again, drop the knee down. So hopefully you've got it now. Let's start counting 8 from here. And extend, drop, and drop. 2, and extend, bend, and drop, open, extend, go back to your open position and drop the knee. We open, we extend, we go back to our open position and we drop. Lift up the knee, extend the leg, bend the knee, drop it down. I think I've got one more to go. Up we come, extend, drop and drop. Give your hip a little rub if it needs to. We're coming into a circle. I want to do a circle at hip height, so just make sure you're still in the same position. So hips stacked, don't let that top hip roll forward. My knees are bent, not right up in front of me so they're covering my tummy. Just push them slightly away at an angle. Extend the top leg out at hip height. Point the toes away from you. That's the bottom of your circle. So let's start now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then 8 the other way, so swing behind this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're swapping sides. So like we did on Monday, let's do the second one first. So we're going to go straight into our circle. So let the head drop down onto the front, the top of the arm. Obviously, if your neck's never been sore and anything, I'm happy for you to have it up. I just think when we have our spine straight, it lets us work on what we're trying to focus on. So my knees are bent to start off, my shoulders are stacked above each other. Extend the top leg out to hip height. That's the bottom of the circle, and circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Have a slight pause and then other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Drop the knee down, give yourself a rub. So our second one is our opening into an open clam, extension into the leg, and then coming back down as we went up. So just give yourself a moment to get ready. We're going to come in now, so we open, the whole leg comes up, we extend in a 45-degree angle, we bend the knee again into open clam, and we drop it into closing the shell. We open, extend, bend, and drop. So I think we did a few on the other side before we started counting our 8. So let's use these 3 as our practice. And now 8 coming up. 1, extend, open clam, drop the knee, open, extend, back to the open position, drop the knee, up we come, extend, bend the knee, drop the leg, up we come, extend, back to the open position, dropping the knee. I think we've got 3 to go. Up we come, extend, bend, and drop down. Amanda, if you're out there, I know you'll be shouting numbers at me. And extend, bend, and drop, open, extend, bend, and drop. I completely lost it, so let's just do one more. Open and extend and bend and drop. Well done, give yourself a hug. We're going to finish off on our backs. I'm just going to I've always got to be facing one way, I think. It's like taking the same place in a hall. I've got to start off facing the right way. So we want to start off just bringing our knees in. I'm going to do a crunch with a reach. I will show you what we're doing. So it's nothing new that we've not done before. We want to start off with our feet hip distance apart, knees up towards the ceiling, open the shoulders and feeling the base of the spine drop on the mat. So I know when we've been doing our toe taps, that's a fantastic prep. Our body's nice and warm. I just want you to take the focus to the back and flatten it, widening out through into your hips. Take the hands where you like to have them. Now if you're using the band, and I know not many of you are now, then you can use the band in one hand. Let me show you what we're doing. We breathe in through the nose, and as we exhale, I'm coming up, and then I'm reaching forward, and then I can support my head again slightly as I drop my head back down. Now you can see that I've got the tips of my fingers on my temples. I know some of you like to have your hands just at the back of the head, so don't yank your head up. And if you're using the band, just use one hand at a time. Take a breath in. Exhale, reach, inhale, drop. Exhale, reach, inhale to drop. Exhale up and reach. Inhale to support and drop. Up we come and reach. Support and drop. Up, reach forward. So as you're reaching forward, you're just lifting your chest a little bit further. So now you have to work your abdominals a little bit more. And holding and drop. So come up, chin down, reach forward, support and drop. Up we come, reach forward, support and drop. Let's do a few more. And reach, support and drop. So I did a little bit of a cool down release in between standing and lying. So I'm not going to do quite as long cool down as we did on Monday at the end. So we've got time for another couple. And reach and support and drop. Let's do two more. Up and reach, support and drop. Dropping the head. Bring your knees in if you need to. If not, just bring your feet out to the width of the mat. We're doing a wide bridge. So we've already had our feet wide when we were doing our forward flexion. We want to keep the feet just as the width of the mat dictates. Take the hands out. Have the palms facing down, please, not up. And then you can use your forearms for a little bit of a support. And then when you're ready, take a breath in, exhale, peel your bottom up, let the hips come up, and then push the weight out through the knees and squeeze the bum. So we're doing it slowly. Release all that back down. Take the lower back off the mat, flatten the back, peel your bottom off, lift the hips, push the knees away from you, squeeze your bottom. Drop your bottom slowly. Peel the lower back off just slightly so you're tipping your hips forward. Roll your back onto the mat again. Peel your bottom off the mat. Lift up through the hips. Push out through the knees as you squeeze the bottom. Drop the bottom down slowly. Let the lower back come off as you tip forward slightly, and then push the back flat again. As you do, peel the bottom off, lift the hips, push the knees away, squeeze your bottom, Release your bottom, drop it down. Take the lower back off the mat slightly as you rock forward. Rock yourself back, flatten the back. Peel your bottom off. Lift the hips. Push the knees away, squeeze the bottom. Drop your bottom down, last one coming up. Take the lower back up slightly, rock forward. So now you can roll back, flatten the back. Push it into the mat as you lift your bottom up. Now lift the back up, lift the heels up, push the knees away, squeeze the bottom. Slowly drop yourself back down. Bring your knees in, giving them a hug. And the last one, alternative bridge again. So we're going to bring our feet back into hip distance apart. Last one of the day. Have your feet hip distance apart, knees up to the ceiling obviously. Hips nice and wide and flat, the lower back on the mat. Take the hands down with the side of the body. With the 4 hands down on the mat, please, shoulders wide. Bring yourself up into a normal bridge. Now I'm going to walk my shoulders just ever so slightly down. That's just giving me a little bit more security. And then I'm going to lift my heels off the mat and drop. Lift the heels off the mat. So we've gone all the way back to our first Tadasana and lifting our heels. This time it's not a balance, but same principle, using the ball of the feet, lifting the heels up, lifting up, dropping down, lifting up, dropping down, lifting up. Now can I stop talking about the breathing as long as you're breathing? That's good. So breathe for 1 as you come up and then drop as you go down, lifting and dropping. I'm doing 4 more, then that's us for the day. Up we come and drop, lifting and drop, and 3 and drop. Don't drop your bottom down, and lifting, and let's hold for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Drop your heels, drop your bottom, bring your knees in. Well done everyone. Let me just have a look at the time. Perfect. So I just want to do a quick cool down. So with the knees being held, take the hands onto the knees and let's just circle the knees above us. So you're just pushing your hands away, bring them in towards you, push them to the side, and just do that in your own time. You obviously don't get too far away, our arms are not that long. And then whichever way you're going, go the other way now. And circle. Lovely, lovely. And then take the hands off the knees, bring the arms out, push the knees away from you to tabletop, and then slowly lower both knees down and just take your time to let them roll as far as they can over to one side. My toes, my feet are touching the mat. You may not have your knees touching the mat, doesn't matter. And now take the head to the opposite side. Glance softly at that arm as you bring it up. Tapping the other hand. And then bring it up and back, following it with the glancing of the eye. And let's do that one more time. And then we'll do 2 on the other side. So it's just releasing off the neck, releasing off the shoulder, releasing off the lower back and the obliques. Bring the head back to center. Bring the knees up through center line and tabletop. Slowly roll them to the other side. And just take as long as you need to feel comfortable, keeping both shoulders down, feeling the work happening in the stretch as you just relax the knees over. Now I'm taking my head to the opposite side, and then as I look at that hand, bring it up, tapping the hand on the other side, and then bring it up. And we're going to do one more. My room has just got very cold. The heating is obviously been switched off. And then bring it up and over. Bring your knees up. I want you to give them a hug as we did midway, and then bring your head up as we did between yoga and Pilates. And then drop the head down. Let both legs go in front of you as we did earlier. Bring both arms behind you. This time feel the lower back really lift off the floor as we puff up into the chest. And then relax it down. Obviously it won't touch the mat completely with your legs outstretched and your arms behind you. Bring your right arm up and then drop it down to the right hip. And then let's do our windscreen wipers. Not done it for ages. Just swap hands and swap hands and swap and swap. And we need to do one more to even up, and then release yourself back onto your bent position. Well done everyone. Roll onto your side. Give yourself a little assistance to get up to sitting. Well done, well done. Thank you so much. So see, my house has got very cold. I'm going away to switch the heating back on. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me just refresh. We're doing kind of a full hour every day now. We used to do a little bit more than that, but we do our warm up obviously before. Good morning everyone. So Eileen, you've already said good morning, and Beth and Libby, you're out there. Kamala, welcome. Jennifer, you're late, but that is fine because I didn't notice you coming in. Let me just see. Oh, got a couple of wee messages coming up now. So Eileen's, as I said, Jennifer, Kamala, Rosemary there, Alison, Ilda. Morning Ilda, welcome back. Mel, you're out there. Libby, I said hello to. Victor and Audrey, you're always there. Did I say Rosemary there? Because I know Rosemary, you're always there. And Amanda, you're always there. Caroline, hopefully you're back today. Big sis, good morning. Anne, you're there. Sandra, hi. Janice, Caroline, lovely to talk to you the other day. Both Eileens, I said. Lorraine, you're out there. And Louise, you are out there. Thank you very much. Hopefully you feel a bit warmer than me. Be nice to yourself when it's a nice damp day. Not nice at all. When it's a damp day, remember, if you need more of a stretch before you carry on with the rest of the day, then please listen to your body and do that. And as I said first thing this morning, just always remember to do your warm-up in the winter months before you come on to do the class, because it's really easy just to jump out of bed, I think, now and come up to your mat in your pyjamas, and you still need to warm up. So as long as you're doing that, I'm happy. What you wear, I don't mind. Oh, Jackie, I know you're out there too, and I didn't shout your name. So I will see you all on Friday at 10 o'clock on your mat. I'm going to rejig my camera so that I don't feel as if I'm sitting at a little bit of an angle. And you will see me then, and hopefully I will see your name out there too. So take care everyone, thank you. Have a lovely Wednesday. Coffee time.